I'm perfect. It's perfect right now. Now it's perfect because you know why? I just told the chat service that I use to go ahead and record, start recording. So now I'm recording on the cloud. Now I'm recording on Facebook Live. So I'll have two simultaneous recording feeds. Oh man, it's the best thing ever. I was born to do this. Okay, that's what I was born to do. And it took me 47 years to find the heck out what I'm supposed to do in life. But hey, I'm doing it now and it feels great. So we got this. We got the intro feed loaded and ready to go. And trying to think what's next. Okay. All right, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to avoid the time that it takes to edit. I'm talking about stuff you probably ain't interested in, so let's go. Let's go full screen. Let's go full screen. All right, I'm in the way, so let's go smaller view. It's already working. All right, so I'm not pausing anywhere, am I? No, I'm not. So let's go. We're going to start the Biblical Book Club session number. I don't even remember what the number is. How about Genesis chapter 5? And 3, 2, 1. All right, that was perfect. That's exactly how it was supposed to work out, okay? I was supposed to come from the intro, pause the recording of the video real quick. I'm talking about, I know I didn't pause the Facebook live feed, but to pause the cloud recording. And then so it'll be seamless so that it look like the intro and then it, plays and then it comes into me. All right, so anyway, here we go. Bible Book Club sWordSmith session. For those who don't know, I have a group and a page devoted to the sWordSmith. I know it's a corny name. I know. I feel it every time I say it. But basically what it is a title that I developed a while ago for the elite elect of, I guess, the Messiah was referring to. That, okay, so I knew that there was going to be a certain ranks of people that he would respect and address. And I felt that, hey, those who could rightly divide the word of truth are like blades. They could divide, and then what they would do is they would be equipped with the armor of God, which is when they have a sword, and then something about the truth being like a two-edged sword that cuts both ways. And I kept seeing all the sword references. And I thought, hey, you know what? It's funny because if the word is a sword that cuts between marrow and something, there's all these references about swords when I really used to read into the New Testament. And I thought about, wait a minute, a sword is spelled S-W-O-R-D, and then you have the word inside a sword, and so you got sword. That would be a better. So it really, the name is really supposed to be sWordSmith, because you do have a swordsmith. That is a person who manufactures swords and whatnot. Then you also have a wordsmith. So really, what it is a swordsmith. All right. Hope I didn't take up too much of your time telling you about that. So anyway, what I do is I do this for my group, sWordSmith, and I also do it for honorable Hebrew Israelite women of is that how you say the name? Knock, knock, knock. I'm talking to you. Hello? Are you not? You're on the phone, right? Oh, wait a minute, I don't have you on speaker. Okay. You're on the phone, right? Hello? Are you trying to?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were trying to act like you ain't want to hear me, because then you ain't had to talk because you think I'm not. Okay, so anyway, so honorable Hebrew Israelite women of virtue, right? I don't know why. Okay, anyway, so I do this, and I'm supposed to be doing it for some members of sWordSmith, but they showed up the first night. I ain't seen them since. You know how black folks are, man. I knew that was going to happen. That's why I'm telling you honestly. I knew that was going to happen. This is not me making up excuses. I knew that was going to happen, and I knew that it was going to happen, and I thought that it was going to hurt my feelings and be distraught, but I'm surprised I don't feel nothing. I don't feel anything. And I knew that was going to happen. So that's why I'm glad I got the honorable Hebrew Israelite women of virtue, because they stick in there no matter what. They going to be there. Them girls is hungry. They want the hors d'oeuvres. They want the main. They want the main course. They want the appetizer. They want the dessert. They're hungry. So but my people, people who say, "I want you to show me something, Wandale. I want you to teach me something, Wandale." I'm like, yeah, you see that today. So honestly, that's one of the main reasons why I didn't get started sooner than I did, because I just knew, man. Once you start doing stuff like this, people will disappoint you. Okay, you expect them to be there next week. They find everything in the world more important than being there with you. Okay, so let's go. Now, honestly, I did make a mistake in this, and not ashamed to admit it. All right, it's all good. It's my first time doing it. Next week it go a lot smoother. What's this? What is that? Okay, that's me. That's me. That's me. That's that. And that's that. Okay, this is that. Let's go. Let's go there. And what I gotta do, we should learn some. Okay, so what I gotta do is I gotta go to Facebook right there. That's why I gotta go to Bible, audio Bible, and then go to Ruth. Ruth. We'll look back on this one day and laugh. Wandale, you're so funny. You were horrible back then. I'm like, you're right. Okay, so cool. Here we go. Ruth 2. All right, so we're getting this set up. For those of you who don't know, what I do, pause that. Pause it. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to start my Bible studies off, or Bible book club sessions off a little something different. Okay. I love audiobooks. If you know me, you know I love audiobooks. They save oodles of time. Man, and do they save the voice? All right, so we're gonna play Ruth chapter 2 audiobook by All Audio Bible. And it's here on Facebook in case any of you guys are interested and would like to peruse it yourself. All right, and you decide, hey, I'd rather listen to that with Wandale's listening to, because there's black voices. I enjoy listening to it. It's entertaining. The guy from Star Trek is narrating. I can tell. Love his voice. And then I heard Denzel in there one time. And then I heard the girl from Living Single in there. So anyway, that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to cue up chapter 2. Cue up chapter 2, and then we go from there. All right. Actually, chapter 2 is already queued up. Now, what I need to do is I need to minimize myself. Okay. I'm taking up too much screen space. All right. So there we go. Over there in the corner where I belong. Let's go full screen. Distract from what you see in the back. And then it's on and pop. Okay. So let me say this. All right. Once I get done with this, we'll go right into chapter 2 of Ruth. And then what'll happen is I'll read a verse. I'll play around with some Hebrew if I find a need to. Then I'll go over maybe some laws that are relative to that verse. Okay? Because that's almighty important. That's what I read the Bible for. I read it for the laws, to find out how to conduct myself, how to deal with certain situations in life with humanity, etc., etc. And then I'll go into some notes. That's for dessert. Some notes that I made, I took No, the ATD column. I'll explain it to you. Because what we're doing is we're using the Wandelian Bible study method to break this chapter down. All right.
Now, Naomi had a relative on her husband's side, a man of standing from the clan of Elimelech, whose name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi,
"Let me go to the fields and pick up the leftover grain behind anyone in whose eyes I find favor."
Naomi said to her,
"Go ahead, my daughter."
So she went out, entered the field, and began to glean behind the harvesters. As it turned out, she found herself working in a field belonging to Boaz, who was from the clan of Elimelech. Just then, Boaz arrived from Bethlehem and greeted the harvesters. "The Lord be with you."
"The Lord bless you,"
they answered. Boaz asked the overseer of his harvesters,
"Who does that young woman belong to?"
The overseer replied,
"She is the Moabite who came back from Moab with Naomi. She said, 'Please, let me glean and gather among the sheaves behind the harvest.' She came into the field and has remained here from morning till now, except for a short rest in the shelter."
So Boaz said to Ruth,
"My daughter, listen to me. Don't go and glean in another field, and don't go away from here. Stay here with the women who work for me. Watch the field where the harvesters are working, and follow along after the women. I have told the men not to lay a hand on you. And whenever you are thirsty, go and get a drink from the water jars the men have filled."
At this, she bowed down with her face to the ground. She asked him,
"Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner?"
Boaz replied,
"I've been told all about what you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband. How you left your father and mother and your homeland and came to live with the people you did not know before. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge."
"May I continue to find favor in your eyes, my Lord. You have reassured me and have spoken kindly to your servant, though I do not have the standing of one of your servants."
At mealtime, Boaz said to her,
"Come over here. Have some bread and dip it in the wine vinegar."
When she sat down with the harvesters, he offered her some roasted grain. She ate all she wanted and had some left over. As she got up to glean, Boaz gave orders to his men.
"Let her gather among the sheaves and don't reprimand her. Even pull out some stalks for her from the bundles and leave them for her to pick up. And don't rebuke her."
So Ruth gleaned in the field until evening. Then she threshed the barley she had gathered and it amounted to about an ephah. She carried it back to town, and her mother-in-law saw how much she had gathered. Ruth also brought out and gave her what she had left over after she had eaten. Her mother-in-law asked her,
"Where did you glean today? Where did you work? Blessed be the man who took notice of you."
Then Ruth told her mother-in-law about the one at whose place she had been working.
"The name of the man I worked with today is Boaz,"
She said.
"The Lord bless him.
Naomi said to her daughter-in-law,
He has not stopped showing his kindness to the living and the dead.
She added.
That man is our close relative. He is one of our family guardians."
Then Ruth the Moabite said,
"He even said to me, 'Stay with my workers until they finish harvesting all my grain.'"
Naomi said to Ruth, her daughter-in-law,
"It will be good for you, my daughter, to go with the women who work for him. Because in someone else's field, you might be harmed."
So Ruth stayed close to the women of Boaz to glean until the barley and wheat harvests were finished, and she lived with her mother.
All right. Now that was fun, wasn't it? Now going back over a review of chapter 1. So let's do that. Let me do that. Okay. And let me set this up real quick. All right. So going back over a review of chapter 1, what manner of things did we encounter that helped build the story up to this point that should make this story that this component of the story that we encounter in chapter 2 much more compelling. I'm asking you. I expect you to answer on this live video, even though you're not here. I want an answer. Okay. We learned about Elimelech. That's right. And we learned about Mahlon, Gideon, and Ruth. Okay, so we learned about the 4 characters, main characters of the story thus far. But unfortunately, we had 3 of the main characters snatched right from underneath us. And then, before that happened, 2 more characters were introduced. Ruth and Orpah. All right. Okay. And then Orpah got ghost, and we had to deal with just 2 characters. And I thought from then we want to have a full house. Okay. And then come to find out we only got 2 characters left. That was a little. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I was disappointed. I just wanted to see where they were going. Okay. And so we had these 2 that had been in Moab for 10 years, and then as they were in Moab, they got word that, hey, the Most High came and visited Bethlehem and Judah, and so now we're expecting the harvest. Or we're not, and I didn't say we were expecting the harvest, but they knew that the famine was over because I guess things started growing, they got some rain and all that kind of stuff. Then they knew that, hey, it's been going so good that we're going to have a harvest, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't mentioned to Naomi. She went there before she even knew that, I guess. See, could be a test of her faith. I'm going to go back home because I heard that the famine is over. All right, now that takes faith, because if you don't have evidence, you ain't see it on CNN or CNBC or whatever to know that the weather conditions were favorable and that the famine was over. You're just hearing from somebody. You got to travel 30 to 60 miles just to find out. And God forbid you go to find out that was a lie. That's got to be painful. So anyway, let's applaud Ruth for her faith. And let's applaud Naomi, because she was going and didn't know how she was going to make it through the rest of the year, let alone the rest of the month with this woman. I guess she could have heard so many things going on her side in Moab. Like, oh, you got all this, you got all that. Y'all was well to do when y'all came. Okay, cool. I'm going back with you. Because we don't know what Ruth had to go back to, return back to in Moab. She could have come from a alcoholic father, some more stuff. Who knows? But if you watch the movie Ruth, which I think we'll do one day, we'll do a watch party. Watch the movie Ruth that they've made in the 1960s. They have Ruth being a priestess of the god Chemosh. I'm like, how do you? What book did you read this from? Where'd you get that information from? And anyway, so it was a complete Hollywood refashioning of the story. I don't know how much of this is truth or not. I can't say. So anyway. We got to the point where Naomi is in Bethlehem, right? And so Ruth is zealous to go out there and glean and get some. That's her solution to poverty. I'm gonna go out here and glean. I'm gonna go to somebody's field and I'm gonna find favor with them, and then I'm gonna pour it on thick. Okay, that was her strategy. So far, we see her strategy is working in this chapter. I'm proud of the girl. I'm proud of her. Not only did she convert to a Jew back in chapter 1, but she's being loyal to her mother-in-law and showing that, hey, this is what you could have got if your son was still around, but I'm gonna do this anyway because I don't. Look, first of all, I want to get this out your mind about Ruth, the book of Ruth, because it's nothing to hear sisters say, I'm going to wait on my Boaz and I'm not going to date any of the guys until my Boaz arrives. And I I think when I hear women say that, it tells me they have the wrong idea about the book of Ruth. If you think this is a love story, you're sadly mistaken. Let me tell you what this is, so that you understand Jewish texts. They're very subtle about love, and it's more about the law. Okay, what you're finding in this book is you're finding illustrative, practical applications of the law, and I'll identify them to you. Now, what this one book is about Levirate law. The Levirate law, which is not romantic at all. And I'll tell you what it's about. I'm going to put in so many words. So many words. The Levirate law is about my brother had a wife, and then he died. He happened to have died without children. So somebody in the family, his brother could be a biological brother, could be a cousin, could be an uncle too. Take his wife, marry her, have sex with her. Oh my God, that's horrible. You know, that sound, according to the American mindset, that sounds filthy and that sounds diabolical, like betrayal, etc., etc. But let's look at it through the mind of the Most High, who is the one who mandated this. I care about children. I care about women. Okay? I want that woman to be covered. Even though her husband left her alone, she must be covered. And I want her to have the children that she was not able to have with him. But tell you what I'm gonna do. So this is how generous I am. When she has a child, that child is going to be named after the man who is deceased, so that his name can continue in the tribe which he belongs. And you are to raise that boy up as that man's child, not your own, even though biologically it is your own. Okay? And so that's what this book is about. That's really what everything builds up to. That's what everything is. All the flirtation is designed to do. All the seduction is designed to make that happen. Okay? I don't see. I got an ongoing debate with Deborah. Many of you may know her from the Hebrew. Wait a minute. Honorable Hebrew Israelite Women of Virtue and Longevity. Many of you may know her from that. Okay, me and her got a debate going, a little friendly debate. Nothing serious. Ain't nobody gonna get stabbed behind this one. But she's saying the book of Ruth is about love. Don't you see all the love? I'm like, nah. But and I'd say it's not about love, it's about business. Okay? It's about family coming to family aid to realize, hey, we're all we got, and we see a problem in the family. Let's fix this. And a brother is doing what is necessary to take care of him. And I'm gonna tell you something. What's his name? Boaz is older than Ruth, much older than Ruth. Okay, many of you don't know that. Many have probably never paid attention to the story to deduce that, but he's older. All right. So if you're going to be falling in love with the book of Ruth because the church got you onto this love kick and thinking that's what you should read the book for, then what you should do is change your life to fit this story. If you're sitting around waiting on Boaz, like, you know, he's some romantic rescuer, and you shouldn't have a problem with dating other men, okay? Because that's what most of the women in the book do. They marry older men. I mean, like Jacob and no, not Jacob. It was Isaac and Rebekah. Okay, Isaac and Rebekah. She was in her teens when he married her, and he was well into his 40s. Yeah. Okay. So if you're gonna sit there and try to romanticize one version of the Bible, Do it with sobriety. All right, let me get started because I'm already, oh my God, I'm already half an hour into this thing. Okay, so, no, we got not Ruth 1. Let's go to Ruth 2. I'm sorry. Let me go through this. Computer's kind of slow. So I got so much going on in the background, it's going to be slow. All right. Come on. Okay, here we go. Ruth 2. All right, Ruth finds a job. Not as good as a narrator as that last dude was. He's awesome. He's awesome. They got the right guy for the job. Why is this down here? Okay, no editing allowed. No editing. This should not be way down here like this. But anyway, let's continue. All right. So Baaz's intro. All right. Now, okay, let me tell you what I gotta go over the anatomy of what you're gonna see here. Here, what you're looking at is my grid. It's the grid for the Wandelian Bible Study Method, which follows the manual process. The manual process where there's you in the Bible and some color pencils or some color ink markers or something. And then you identify according to that system. Now you've identified that system, and then you pull all that into the grid. And you have one column, which is the scriptural column in English. And for me, my preference is the LXX 2012, which is the 2012 version of the Septuagint, which means that the language is more modernized. Okay, and I love the Septuagint, even though I know that violates many of you Hebrews sentiments and sensitivities. I don't care. I want the truth, and you will not get the truth. I will tell you this: you will not get the truth with the Hebrew translation of the scriptures. They are as old as 900 AD. Now, if you don't know what AD means, that's 900. Or this, I know them. Whatever, I forget what that is. AD means, but what it really means is 900 years after the ascension of Christ or something like that. It was a time period when time changed, and so Christ is older than your Hebrew translation or your Hebrew Bible. All right. So many of you who like to have a problem with Christ realize you're dealing with a scripture that's far younger than he is, and then you got the nerve to have a problem with him. Whatever. I'm not going to go that route, but I want to say that. And then the Septuagint dates in the 300s BC. That's about 300 plus years before the Messiah. So you can have a problem with the Greek if you want to. You could say it's pagan and all that kind of stuff. But 70 rabbis agreed to translate the Hebrew text of their day into the Greek because they were Hellenized, I guess, and did Ptolemy a service by doing it for him. He wanted the addition of the book of the laws and things of the Hebrews to belong in his library. Okay? And because of that, the Jews were allowed to build a temple in Egypt that many of you don't know in Elephatine. Okay? I'm getting way ahead. Okay, let me go back. Let me come back. All right. So in the next column, you have the Hebrew that you guys love so much. The Hebrew text, the Masoretic text, the Leningrad Codex, I think, or the Biblica Hebraica, that you all love so much, like to be deceived by this copy of the Bible, which was fabricated by the Masoretes, and you will find that there's 6,000 variances or differences from the Dead Sea Scrolls, which does not match the Dead Sea Scrolls. And you will find many of the prophecies that refer to the Messiah have been altered because these guys were not fans of that Messiah. So they altered the text so it wouldn't seem like he wasn't fitting and suiting. And that's probably what you I know I'm not going to say probably. That is the problem that you have bookers find the issue with because you're being deceived. Next, let me go on ahead to the next thing. All right. So next column is the teaching or the law. That's where I extract the law from said verse and cover it and expose it. And then next column is ATD, which is which stands for attention to details, not an alarm company. That's attention to detail. That's what I noticed in the scripture. That's what I'm gleaning from the scripture personally. And, you can thank God for my insight or call me a heretic. Don't care. The next column is the Hebrew vocabulary section, which I extract Hebrew words and then shine light on them to give them more definition to hopefully open up the verse a bit more. And I can see we already got some things going on here. Wow. Okay, so anyway, let me get started. I'm going to go ahead and read the verse. Then skip some columns and touch on some columns. Whatever I see fit, okay? All right. Naomi had a near relative of her husband, a man who was a master of valor of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. All right. Okay. So now the order of the kinsmen, of the husband's kinsmen, ranked by righteousness of the family, his rank is known as master of valor. All right. I could be making that up. There's no biblical scripture that says that. It's just notice. It's just a notice of what the Israelites have done without it being narrated anywhere else in the Bible. And it's a part of their culture, their tradition. So that's how they live. And so I'm okay with just like later on in this book, you will find where the other kinsman that Boaz has a confrontation with has to take off his shoe and give it to Boaz, right, as a receipt of purchase. Nowhere in the Bible, nowhere in the Torah will you find that being done. But they had their own customs independent of the Torah just by being Middle Easterns. Sometimes being a Middle Eastern usurped Torah obligation. Sometimes. Just like right there, where he gives him his shoe. It doesn't say so in the Torah. Where did he get that custom from? All right. So just be flexible, relax, and just realize these people are doing things. Not all the time do they do what's in the Torah. And as hard as you try to make it seem like you try to keep your fringes and lengths of the fringes, and all, nobody really cared about that kind of stuff. I'm not going to say they didn't wear them. I'm just going to say that I never hear anybody talking about it except when we get to the New Testament, where the Messiah is complaining about how the Pharisees elongated their fringes. Other than that, don't really hear fringes being talked about ever. All right, so let me stop. All right, was he always a master of valor? Why didn't he leave when the famine hit? Good question. And this is a Wandelian question right here. Why? Okay, so was he always a master of valor, or at one point in time did he have to reach the rank of a master of valor and then be called a master of valor? And then the second question is, why didn't he leave? He's a man in Bethlehem. He went through the famine, stayed through the famine, didn't seem to move through the famine. It doesn't say he moved. It doesn't say he went to Moab. It doesn't say he went to another tribe's land and say, hey, I'm going to make it do what it do here because over there, we just say making it happen. No. If he had the courage to stay, why didn't Elimelech take his family and leave and then have death to 3 of that family, leaving a widow for a wife because of presumption? Hey, look, I think I should go over here because if you go to, I don't know if you're following Jacob's lead, because when Jacob experienced a famine in Canaan, he left and went to Egypt because he heard, they got some supplies over there in Egypt. So don't tell him. When Naomi's husband, or was not Naomi's husband warned not to leave by these kinsmen? Did they have a conference with him and say, hey, brother, don't leave, don't do it? These are the kind of things that Hollywood molds over, and then you'll see it in their movies and try to figure out, how the heck you come up with that? The Bible didn't talk about that. Where you get that idea from? So some of these things are psychologically arrived at, and that's what we're doing right here. We're trying to understand this from a psychological standpoint. And there's no sin in that. There's no commandment in the Torah anywhere that says you can't do that. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do with a book. All right? Come up with trying to figure out things psychologically. And this book is ripe with psychological fodder. All right? So anyway, kinsman is the word modai, okay? And that word means kinsman, relative, and the word for master of valor. Oh, man, I hate when the Hebrew is like this. Oh, because it's hard to tell what's beginning of it. Okay, so I believe it's Ish Gadol Hayol. Ish Gadol Hayol. So I guess that's where it starts. Ish means man. Gadol means great. Hayol. Rusty on that one. I didn't give you the definition. I just gave you what the words were in Hebrew right there. So Boaz. Now that's why you hear me saying this ugly sounding vowel. I love that vowel. The ayin. It's what you hear in Arabic all the time, and it's like, ugh. You hear people like, whatever, right? So anyway, so that's a guttural vowel, ayin. And also, too, if you keep sticking around, this Bible study will give you a familiarity with Hebrew. I'm thinking about including Hebrew as a portion of the Bible study so that I at least get you to the literacy rate. At least to the literacy rate. Because I don't believe, I'm going to tell you how little my faith is in black folk. I don't believe you'll stick around for the harder parts of Hebrew where the conjugations of the verbs and the different verb stems will kick your butt. All right. But I believe that when you get to literacy, you can become your own teacher and move on to different levels of Hebrew by yourself. So that's why I'll stick around for that length of time. But now I'm out of there after that. Because I want to see dedication. I want to see tenacity. I want to see somebody every week. If I go through all this to teach you and train, I want to see you give up your effort. Not for I got a play to go to this week, and then I'll see the rest of. I don't even see you next week or the week after that. So I'll try to save myself from that heartbreak. It's painful to see a student go, so I'll try to. Anyway, Boaz, fleetness, brothers, quick. All right. So next topic, and these are what you see here in the blue banner or the teal banner going across. Those are the topics that you're about to encounter for the next segment of verses. And these are, and according to Wandelian Bible Study Method, these are given by you. They're made up by you, no one else but you. This is how you make the Bible your own and make it stand out to you the way it does to you. Ruth finds work gleaning in Boaz's field. Then Ruth, the Moabite, said to Naomi, let me now go to the land and let me glean among the ears of grain. Behold, behind someone in whose eyes I might find favor. Or I may find favor. She replied to her, go, my daughter. All right, so ears of grain. You see these terms in the Bible. You see these archaeological terms. Not archaeological. Architect. Anyway, I can't remember the term I'm looking for. Like ears of grain, ears of corn. Okay, these are terminology that's used for the vegetation. And you even, never mind. Gleaning, find favor. Gleaning behind the reapers, gleaning among the family, gleaning among your family. So these are the rules or etiquette, polity, shall I say. Find favor or glean with someone whom you find favor. Glean behind the reapers. This explains the gleaning process to us because in the Torah, all we find out is that you're allowed to glean the outer border of the person's patch of land. That's all you find. They don't find out how to get it done, how they did it. This book goes into detail as to how it's done and the rules that they've established for getting it done. It's like God will do something like, I'll tell you what the law is and what the prohibition is, but you have to figure out how to get it done. Right? That's the cooperation man plays with God. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because I'm not going to say all, Moses had the 10 commandments to work with. What Moses did with the Torah is he gave you how to keep the 10 commandments. Each of the laws of the Torah can fit snugly within the aggregation of the 10 commandments. Okay, so here we are. Glean among your family. Okay. According to the biblical law, the poor were permitted to walk behind the harvesters and gather the grain that they left behind. Now that kind of goes outside of what the law commanded, that you're only supposed to go to the outer borders of the land. It sounds like they're following the gleaners right there, smack dab in the middle. And they could just pick up whatever left behind or whatever dropped, because the law to the harvesters is go through one wave of the land. Don't go through it again. Don't you go through it again. Don't go back and pick up what was left behind. You leave it, because that is left there for the widow, the orphan, the sojourner, and I think the foreigner. I can't remember. Something like that. But something else, we're learning more about God's welfare system and how he cares for man, to where he alters what is done, and there's a promise of success in doing things this way. Goes diametrically opposed to what the Americans believe. We got to make sure we get every nook and cranny of that land harvest, because it's going to be money, whatever they do it for. But God's saying, hey, don't be careless. Okay? Be careless. And in the carelessness, your attention for being careless is to look out for those who are going to come behind and be able to have sustenance in their home because of you. And because you're doing that with that intention and you're doing that with that in mind, I'll make sure you have more than enough to make up for what you left behind. And that's how faith works. That's how faith should work. And those who call themselves faithful should have that same mindset. Glean is the word lachem or lachat. Lachat is the word glean. To pick, gather, glean, gather up. Okay, so that is the word for the process, lachat. Favor and grace is chen. Chen. And when I say chen, it starts with the ket, the ket that is pronounced as cha. You can pronounce ket as cha, or you can pronounce it as ha. Ha. It's more of a guttural H that you never make that ch sound, that hawk and spit sound. That's how Arabic makes that sound. A long, elongated H, hard H. It's chen. So I know some of you who are familiar with the Hebrew, who knows about 4 or 5 words. Y'all say can is to say yes. When the word for yes is ken. This is chen. So it's like similar to that. In order to give you a mnemonic to help you remember, Cain is mercy, is favor, is grace. All right. Favor, charm, elegance, acceptance. Oh boy. So she went and came to glean in a field behind the reapers. All right. And her chance happened that the portion of the field was allotted to Boaz, who was the family of Elimelech. How lucky was she? It's a couple of ways that could have happened. It could have happened because God led her to a field and it was Elimelech's cousin or relatives. Could have happened that way. Or it could have been a lot more practical than that. How about wherever Naomi lived was Elimelech's house, which was situated near his family's house. So all she had to do was leave out the house and go to the nearest land. And maybe Boaz's. I don't know. But there's a lot more practical ways to put some magical properties on God and said, I'm just going to lead her to a land, to a field of the man I want her to marry. You know, it's a lot easier to come to that conclusion than that. And behold, Boaz was coming from Bethlehem and said to the reapers, Yahweh be with you. They replied to him, Yahweh bless you. All right. Don't know what he was in Bethlehem for. He may have been in for some supplies, may have been shopping, may have been handling a business transaction. He was among the judges of that vicinity, so he may have been handling some matters at the gates of Bethlehem, because we do find out that that's where the book concludes, or the last scene of the story is with him and a other relative, where they have to hash out matters concerning Ruth and the property of Elimelech and the widow of Elimelech there at the gates of the city. All right. So, no telling. Owner of the field blesses the reapers. That's how. I'm not saying that's how every owner of the field would treat the reapers, but we see a righteous example of an owner of the field, and what he did, which we should emulate and seek to emulate. And what we notice is how he treats people, how he treats his employees. Okay. He greets them with a blessing. And why wouldn't you want your employees to be blessed? Is a question I would ask any American that doesn't greet his employees that way. If they're blessed, you will in turn be blessed, because you have happy workers who will put their effort into their jobs and give you above and beyond. Their morale is high, etc. Bless the owner of the field. Adonai be with you. Hashem be with you. I don't know. I guess that was me questioning the terminology that the Hebrews use to replace the name of God sometimes. Yahweh be with you is Yahweh Aimakem. All right. And Yahweh bless you is lo yeah. Oh, is it, yeah, okay. Yeah, Beruk Berech. Okay, so I'm reading this as I don't remember what this says, so I got to read this right in front of your face. So you're seeing me struggle trying to read Hebrew right here, but because there's so many rules that deal with the sheva and the silent sheva, you got to remember them as you read. And oh my God, I've been out of practice. So let me see. Yeah. Oh yeah, Barech. Yebarecha, Yahweh. Now, I don't know if that's Yahweh bless you because it starts with lo. Lo means no. All right. I could be, I don't know, I could be wrong. That's why, So then Boaz said to his lad who was stationed over the reapers, whose maiden is that? There is one who is in charge of the reapers, and that's who he's talking to, I guess the lad, I don't know, maybe not. How a man inquires about a maiden. So what we're finding out here, what we can glean from this book, because we glean this too. What we can glean from this book is a way of a man with a woman. And you can see it all set up for you. All right, so here he's, hey, who is that woman? That's just like a brother to be concerned about. Hey, so it may help us understand that Ruth might have been fine. By the way, Boaz treats her special and goes above and beyond what's required of these gleaners and how he inquires about her. It leaves me with the idea that she might have been fine. Okay? And his brother was digging her on some level. I'm not going to say he was in love with her. I ain't going to say that. But I can see where he was checking for her. Okay? And who maiden is that? That's in Hebrew if you want to know how to say that. The lad was stationed over the reapers. That's where we get our information from. That's how you get information from the Bible. I may have been guessing when I said Boaz said to his lad. I don't know if that's a title of a worker, lad, or it just, but I looked at it in Hebrew and I think it was the word for a young man, Yaled. I think it was a word for a young man or something like that. But we find out through the next verse. Sometimes all I gotta do is keep reading. The Bible will explain itself. For those of you who like to cherry pick and go one scripture and then you're done, you believe that the whole Bible says something by one scripture. I'm gonna tell you something. You're in error doing that. You should not do that. You should at least, if somebody tells you to go look up one scripture and they tell you one verse to look up, do yourself a favor and read the whole chapter which that verse belongs to. Keep it in context, because just that one verse might say something that completely disagrees with the rest of the Bible, that's completely out of context with the rest of the Bible. But you will find out that if you read it in context within the whole chapter, it does agree with what the rest of the Bible says, and not only that, but the meaning of it will change based on the context in which it's inserted. All right. I'm trying to tell you how to be a Bible scholar and how to be a good one, an accurate one. Okay. Because there are many people who've made a fool of themselves by just reading one Bible verse and coming back and saying to the rest of the people, this is what the Bible says. And then somebody who really is a Bible scholar saying, that's not what it says. That's completely erroneous. Okay. If you read this verse, that verse, that verse, that verse, that verse, it would explain itself. So that's how it does it. The lad was stationed over the reapers, answered and said, she is the Moabite maiden. She is the Moabite maiden who returned with Naomi from the field of Moab. But let me also tell you how this could be understood too. Moab said to his lad, okay? So that kind of gives you the idea that this guy may be in charge. He may have said to him, blah, 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 and he may have answered. He may not have had the answer for him. So what happened was another person who is in charge over the maidens or the reapers may have said, Moab, Boaz, she is with, she's from Moab. She's that chick from Moab you heard about. It may have been two different lads. It may not be the same lad. So you also got to be open and pay attention to that in the scripture as well. So sometimes, I'm trying to tell you, the Bible is not as easy to read as you think it is. There's some things you got to pay attention to, some things you got to notice, or else you're going to be making mistakes all through this thing. All right? So it's not as easy as you could, I'm going to just pick this book up and I'm read it and I'm going to blah, 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 blah. It's not that easy. It takes some of the greatest comprehension skills to put this together. Basically, what I'm saying is You got to know hermeneutics if you're going to go and try to attempt to read this book. A casual read over like you would do a comic book or or a John Gershom book, that ain't going to cut it. It's not. And don't think that that's how you're supposed to approach this book. I want you to understand you're supposed to approach this book with a thinking cap on, with a knowledge cap on how to approach literature in the first daggone place, to get the most out of this book, or just to get the simple things of this book. It's going to take that. She pleaded. Okay. She pleaded, please let me glean, and I will gather among the sheaves behind the reapers. She came early and had stayed since the morning until now. She did not even pause in the field for a little while. All right, so that's what she said to him. Please let me glean. I will glean behind the reapers. Blah blah blah. And she didn't rest. Okay, some reapers probably go over there and just chill most of the day. Yeah, I got until 5 until the sun go down. I'm gonna just chill, But so he understood that she was about her business because she didn't rest. Even though the audio book that we listened to, I was concerned about what they said. They said that she didn't rest at all, but she rested for a little while. I'm like, no, she didn't. That ain't what the scriptures say. But that is the New International Version, so I give him a little leeway. All right. She paused she didn't even pause in the field for a little while. She just kept on going. This girl's a hard worker, So you can tell if a person is worth their salt by the behaviors they exhibit. All right. No, I need to go back up here and finish it. Favorable intel on the woman, or the questions one should ask about ethnicity and geographical origin of a person. And Israelites were known for doing that. They were known for going to a person and saying, hey, where you coming from and where you're going. You know how many times that's in the Bible? Where you coming from and where you're going. That seemed to be very important for them to know about a person. And there's much you can learn about a person by asking those questions. So he asked about her. He learned about her ethnicity. He learned about her marital state. And his lads hooked him up. They hooked him up with all kind of information about this girl, so he could walk away with, okay, all right, and then he could formulate his approach the way he wanted to. I'm not mad at him. That's what a brother would do. That's exactly what a brother would do. That's exactly what a man should do. That's exactly what a woman should want a man to do his research before you come up in her face. Talk to him, hey, what's up, shawty? How you doing? I know that's the grossest way to approach a woman. So a man should gather the intel on her and know how to approach her respectfully and properly. Geographical origin, her method of how she found favor, her worth ethic. That's how a woman finds favor in ancient Israel. Have a exemplary work ethic. Because that's what a man like him, a man of business, of commerce, would find attractive. Okay? She did what? She been out here since the morning, and it's almost the evening, and she ain't took a break. Oh my God, she is deserving of mercy. She is deserving of respect, admiration, etc., etc. Now, I think juxtapose the American woman who would think that the way I find favor is because my booty is almost hanging out my shorts. And when he get to see all this rump, he going to move heaven and earth to try to get with that. Boo. Boo. Now, I wish that attitude would lead women that they think they can get what they want from a man just because they got some body parts. If it's all about body parts, I can go to KFC, give me a breast, a thigh, a wing, and yeah. Maiden. The word maiden is na'ara. Na'ara. All right? Girl, damsel, female servant. She pleaded. Oh, did I say that already? I may have said that. Okay, yeah, I did read that. Okay. And so that's the end of that topic. We're going to go into a subtopic, which only fills up the sections of where the scriptures extend, and then they're in purple. Because in a chapter, we already ran into two topics, okay? And now this subtopic kind of belongs to the topic, but it's a topic within that topic. And so that's how we understand this. Boaz speaks with Ruth directly. So I'm getting information from my boys. Now I'm going to go approach unto you. Look how respectful he is. Boaz said to Ruth, behold, hearken, my daughter. The fact that he calls her a daughter, and that's not language that you see exchanged between equals, lets you know that she's younger than him, and that's how elder men address girls or females, all right? You must not go to glean in another field. You must not go. That ain't the law, but I know how he feels. I know how he feels. A brother will say that, okay? Hey, look, you need to hang out around here because over there, they shanking fools. I want you to stay over here where it's safe. Right? That's how you keep the woman to yourself. That's how you have exclusive rights over her. I ain't mad at Boaz. He running game, but I'm not mad. And it's for you to understand, all right? This is some good game, okay? This is some game that's designed for her self-interest. And it's not only going to help feed her, it's going to help feed her and her mother-in-law, all right? So he's looking out. This is the way. I'm sorry to belittle his actions by calling them game. I'm just trying to use some terminology that you're more familiar with. He's a very respectable man and a man to be admired and emulated by any man who calls himself a so-called Hebrew, okay? It should be studied. Brothers, we can have a conversation about this whole book. I believe that men should go away and talk about this book and Boaz's approaches. Okay? And I believe that women should go away and have a conversation about how to be approached by a righteous brother. And much can be learned just from this book alone. All right, you must not go to glean in another field. Also, do not cross over from this one. Don't leave. Please don't leave. And thus shall you follow hard behind my mate. All right, so perhaps from her work ethic, he believed that she deserves to be there, okay? It's like, look, if I find a brother out there, okay, say I'm putting together a football team, and I find a brother out there at the park we hanging out at with an arm, I'm going to say, hey, man, what team you belong to? Don't let me find out he don't belong to a team, because I'm going to approach him and tell him all about the benefits of being on my team. I want him to play for my team. I can't be mad at Boaz for the way the things he told to her that were outside the realm of the law, but it's looking out for her welfare and safety. Because I know you got some diabolical dudes out there running the field and they treat people kind of harshly because they're gleaning. Like, man, you taking some of my livelihood, and I'm gonna try to treat you nasty so you don't want to come back. You know, I know they had that out there. I'm gonna try to make sure you don't want to come back to this field and glean. I'm gonna try. So, you know, if I do have somebody come and glean, I'm gonna have my cousin come and glean, and then he's gonna bring it to the house, and it's gonna go, you know, whatever. It's all kind of game being ran. Never mind. Find a way to eliminate the competition. Show her special attention and favor. All right, that's what he's doing. Right? And the fact that she knew she could obtain favor may have let me know that she probably thought she was fine herself. So, you know, I know I'm a good-looking woman, and I gotta go to a field. And for her to think that she could go to somebody's field and find favor leads me to believe that most of the fields must have been run by men, because I don't know I know women have the attitude, I'm going to go try to find favor among women, but they have a different approach about it. All right. Like Naomi, Boaz refers to Ruth as daughter. This form of address conveys his warm attitude towards her and also stresses the generational difference between them. Fear of cross when he said, when he told her don't cross over to another field, it could have been fear of cross pollination. Because let me tell you why. What you can do is you can get the pollen of one field stuck to you, and then go over to another field, and the pollen that was on you gets on all the vegetation in that field, and you call it causing cross pollination. Now that was against the law, not to sow two types of seeds in the same field. I'm not saying the pollen is sown in different types of seeds, but it's influencing the seed of that field, where it could breed a different species of vegetation, you know. But it's something you really can't help. I don't think you can, because bees are going to do that anyway. Bees and other animals that harvest pollen are going to do those things. I might be wrong about that. I wouldn't be surprised if I am. I'm not trying to say I'm all right about that as far as cross pollination is concerned, and how the science of cross pollination works. But I do know that you can cross pollinate a land. I am right about that, by having the pollen from another land on you by visiting another land. I'm not saying I'm wrong about that. I'm just saying about how cross-pollination, the science of cross-pollination works as far as new species of vegetation cropping up from that. I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong about all the details about that. That's what I'm saying. So do your own research and find out how cross-pollination works. That's how you do it. Let your eyes be on the field which they are reaping, and you must go behind them. Behold, I have instructed the lads not to touch you at all. When you are thirsty, then you may go to the vessels and drink from what the lads shall bear. Reveal to her the special favor you have shown to her. It's going to come up. It's going to come in the next verse. That's what he's doing in this verse. He said, "Look, I told the lads don't touch you. I already made preparation for you. Okay, I told them don't. We already talked about you. We had a talk about you. This is what you can learn and glean from this conversation that he's having with her. I told the lads not to touch. If you tell a girl, I told the brothers don't even mess with this one. You know, that lets a girl know, hey, you've been talking about me. You cared enough about me to make provisions for me, for protection. Oh, you're my protector. You're trying to be my protector. Whatever. So, you know, it's good to let her know you went through all that. All right. The lads in charge of the reapers would protect the field from spontaneous leapers. Question. I'm asking a question. It makes sense. That's what I'm gathering from the story thus far. That these lads that are stationed there, they lay down security too, is what they do. And they would disrupt a spontaneous gleaner who I guess didn't have permission, who didn't ask for permission, who just gonna pop up and then show up. But basically, it's a fine line between gleaning and stealing, I guess you could say. Even though you're permitted to do it, I think there's a certain protocol you must follow to have permission to, in this land, do it, and which is, we'll see Ruth following. Ruth asks permission of the lad. Say, can I glean here? Blah, 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 etc. You know? So, yeah. Drinking vessels only allowed for field employees is another question, all right? And it says that there's water there. I don't know if he was generous enough to say, okay, I'm going to put some water out for the people. They might get thirsty. I don't know if you're going to glean, you're expected to bring your own daggone water. I don't know. You know, what the protocol was for gleaning. But there's a lot of things we're learning here. I hope you're learning. I'm learning a lot myself. And I've read this book I don't know how many times. I'm learning some things. Or was there different drinks for the staff and different drinks for the gleaners? Or like I say, if you're going to glean in my field, bring your own stuff. Don't know if they were like that. I'm not saying they were like that. I'm not. Maybe some were. Maybe some weren't. No. Next subtopic, Ruth's response to Boaz's kindness. Now, she fell on her face. Oh, I love this. She fell on her face. And I'm going to tell you what that is. That's worship. I don't care what you say about it. I don't care what you got a problem with about it. It is worship and is one of the ethical protocols of Israel. Now, you might say, oh, that's blasphemy, brother. She wasn't worshiping. Yes, she was. Because worship means to prostrate yourself. It means to bow. And this is what she did. She fell on her face. She prostrated herself. What she did. Now, if you think this is in disagreement or contradicting the scripture says in Exodus chapter 20, verse whatever, I don't know. I think it's verse 4. I can't remember. It says, thou shalt, you should have no other God before me. That ain't what this is. Gods weren't the only thing that were to be worshipped. Elders were to be worshipped. Kings were to be worshipped. I can show you, it will take me an hour to go over all the scriptures of the Bible where somebody bowed down to another. Aaron and Miriam bowed to Moses. Okay. David was bowed down to by his wives. So other people bowed down to David. David himself bowed down to Saul and Samuel. Don't get me started on that. You guys have a misunderstanding of the Bible that is very narrow-minded, very incomplete with information. Worshiping is an act of respect. That's why God asks us for it and asks us not to do it to other gods. That's where the prohibition is. Don't you do this to no other God or whatever you call a God, because what that's going to do is they're going to be in some sort of image made out of steel, metal, wood, something. But it's not a God. It's not what it is. Now, God had a problem with you making something in the image of a supposed God when you are the image of God. You're the image of God. So how fitting is it for me to worship the elders, the kings, I forgot who else, prophets, who worship too. When I say worship, I ain't talking about this crap you worship y'all do nowadays, which ain't even called, which is not even worship. You guys never get on your knees, never get on your face, and just oh Lord, blah blah blah, and you utter some stuff with your hands raised up like that's some form of worship. You never do the actual bowing and getting on your face and prostrating. You never fulfill the definition of the word worship, because worship is an action-prone verb of a thing to do. All you do is go somewhere with your hands raised, running your mouth like God want to hear all of what's coming out your mouth. Oh, Lord, I praise you. What you do is you do praise and call it worship. That's really what's going on. Shame on you, okay? Shame on you for saying you're of this book and don't even know the terms of this book or how things are explained and addressed or performed. Shame on you, man. And then shame on you for sitting there trying to come against somebody like me who's trying to explain to you the truth, trying to tell you the truth, and then you sit there and think because what you're doing is truth, which is not. It doesn't even resemble anything that they're doing in this book. Then you think you can come to me and try to reprimand me and correct me. I'm like, you need to get out of my face, because I can keep you here all night telling you the proper way this thing's supposed to go down. All right. That was her response. Now she fell on her face, bowed herself down to the earth, said to him, for what reason have I found favor in your eyes to recognize me since I am a foreigner. This is a gratitude. Now, I'm going to tell you something, women. When you show gratitude to a brother, you win a special place in his heart. When you do nothing but complain and whine and gripe about crap, you will find a special place on our foot. Okay? Well, we just want to just kick you away from us. We just want to just regard you. Okay? But with kindness and you show appreciation, you win us this way. Now, I'm going to say that, she may have been very skillful in how to win the favor of a man because she's doing all the right things. All the right things. Now, this is a book that older women should take and teach younger women by. And maybe we wouldn't have such a problem in the African American community with women disrespecting men and expecting us to be men for them because they complain about it and made a comparison between us and another guy, and we're supposed to fall in line because, God forbid, we don't measure up to that guy. No, we would rather leave our own race. We would rather leave the race of women and go get a woman of another race than do what you want us to do, even after you complain about us. Right? That's how you just appealed to my pride. You just appealed to my pride here. And what she did is how you appeal to a man's heart, how you appeal to the soft center of a man. We got one, but it's just our women do not know how to bring it out of us. Let me leave it alone because I can tell already. Some timbers may be flying from that. If her reaction is a favorable one, then she is definitely one worth going after. And I believe that Boaz recognizes the character of this woman and saying, oh my God, we got a live one here and one worth keeping. Her humility is a man's kryptonite. I'm going to tell you. Now, you ask a brother, why do you like Asian women? Why do you like white women? Why do you like Mexican women? The answer that keeps coming back are in different forms, but they still have a commonality among them because of these women's humility, their approach to a man, their handling of a man. See, sisters think that when you handle a man with much attitude, angst, we supposed to do what you say because you are mad about it. I'm sorry. The Bible is showing you exactly how to appeal to us because we're made in the image of God, right? What appeals to him is what appeals to us. Duh. I don't see you going to God and yelling at him about what he didn't do. We withheld from you and all of the kinds of, you're up there pleading and begging with him with hands folded, eyes closed, head bowed, and all kind of stuff. That's how you pray to God. Why don't you do the same to us? Because your pride won't let you? Well, when your pride gets what it wants by making a man acquiesce to your will by approaching him properly, then you will see the power behind what I'm talking about. Ruth knows her way into an Israelite's heart. That's what she does. She knows her way into an Israelite's heart. Exactly what appeals to him. Gone, Ruth, with your bad self. My eyes massages the conversation by revealing his research. Okay? Not that you can't tell by what he said already. I can tell you've been researching me, but he's going to go ahead and spill the beans. Boaz answered and said to her, it was told, yea, told to me, all that you have done for your husband's mother since the death of your husband. Now, this tells her a couple things. Wait a minute, brother. You've been asked some questions about me? That means you're interested in me. Or that means that you want to know more about me. And that leaves it up to her to either fill in the holes and fill in the gaps and help buffer what he doesn't know. He'll tell her what he doesn't know because he'll tell her what he asks. And what he asks is what he wants to know. And wait a minute, you don't know the whole story, brother. You need to know some more stuff. So she can come and tell him more stuff. All right. See a court, and I'm not going to say we see a courtship, but what we see is we see a dialogue that can set up a courtship. That you have done to your husband's mother since the death of your husband. I found out your husband's dead. Oh, shucks. You're a widow. You're single. You are single, and you're going to need a man. Ain't no telling how long you've been without the touch and company and companionship of a man. And I love the way he's handling it. All right, he's not coming to her all thirsty with a bulge in his pants. I'm not gonna say that because I know he ain't have on pants, but you know, he's not coming to her like that. I don't even think he allows her to know that he might be interested in her other than the research he's done. He doesn't actually come out and actually say it. Let's keep on reading. How you forsook your father and your mother and the country of your birth and went to a people you had not known before, or not known theretofore. Okay? So you left your mother, left your father, left your country. So Boaz did a smart thing. He's basically explaining why I'm being so gracious to you, all right? But he's also explaining to her why I have an interest in you, all right? A woman that leaves her mother, her father, her country land, coming to a strange one, is going to need some hospitable people to encounter, to make her life easier while she's there. Because, you know, this place, it's all right, but we got some characters around here. I'm not saying he's saying that, but that's what it could lead up to, you know? Inform her that you've done research. Tell her her story without sounding like a stalker. I've been checking on you, girl. I know all about you. I know what you eat, what you like to do for fun. Like, hold on, brother. That's a little TMI. I mean, that's a little too much information you're trying to get from me, and I'm feeling unsafe around you now. Right? So he's sensitive to her femininities. And that's what you, brother, should be doing. Be sensitive to her femininity. Oh, yeah, she's turned on by the macho, bravado, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but in temperament. All right? May Yahweh repay your deeds. Oh, let me show you how religious I am right now. May your reward be equitable from Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. And pretty soon, I want you to come up under my wing. All right? Let me show you how religious I am. I go around blessing folk. I know about God. I'm well aware of the God of Israel, and may he show you kindness that I'm showing you right now. Basically what he's saying. Because he's being equitable to her. He's repaying her deeds with his kindness. And under his wings, he asking her to take refuge. When I say, don't you go to another field and glean, I want you to stay under my wings. All right? So, yeah. You can see what he's doing. And you can have a problem with what he's doing. I don't have a problem with what he's doing. Matter of fact, I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes what he's doing because he's cooler than the other side of the pillow. Bless her for being honorable. All right. And by blessing a woman for being honorable, brother, do you know that by blessing her for being honorable, you actually stimulate her to be more honorable continually? All right. It works both ways. When a woman compliments a man for what he's doing, how manly he's being, how respectful he's being, what she's telling him is she's saying, look, I admire that quality about you. I noticed that quality about you. I want to congratulate and applaud that character about you. That's how you're going to get me to do this. It's about being more respectable, more honorable, etc. Okay? And so by doing that to a woman, you do the same thing. Like, you've got a goofy ghetto behind woman who's laughing all loud and stuff like that. Catch her when she's being calm. and mannerable and respectful and say, hey, I didn't know you was like this. Oh my God, I like you so much better this way. You are so much more enjoyable when you're quiet like this. Or, whatever. I don't know. You might have to be careful saying that to her because she might get upset about you saying that. But I'm telling you, that is human nature, human psychology. All right. And he's using it well. All right. Rabbinic interpreters understand this phrase as a reference to Ruth's conversion. Oh man, I might have that note in the wrong place. Maybe I don't. Under whose wings you have come to take refuge. Oh yeah, okay. Rabbinic interpreters understand this to mean that he's referring to her conversion. Okay. Because she did convert in chapter 1. She converted to her mother-in-law. She converted to, I'm not going to say Judaism because Judaism probably didn't exist back then, although they were of the tribe of Judah. So anyway, under whose wings you come to take refuge correlates to Ruth asking Boaz to cover her with his garment. Now that's going to be found in chapter 3. All right. So there's a lot of wings and coverings and things like that. I'm begging you guys to notice. I'm begging you guys to read the book with this kind of attention to detail. That stuff you've been doing before, time out for that stuff. It doesn't work for the church, so why do you expect it to work for you? You're only getting I think you get about 30% of the book. Read it like you're reading it. Okay? I want you to get upwards to 75 to 100% of the book, which is 100% is impossible. All right? So that's a lofty goal. I'm trying to reach 100 myself. But I want you to, let me see, 70, I'd say 70%. I want you to get that much. That's what's going to take. And so this stuff you're satisfied with, that you feel like you know everything about the Bible, you need to be cut down. All right? You should be embarrassed about how you read the book. All right? Because some people don't even get stuff out of the Bible. They make up themselves that the Bible's saying. And it ain't even saying. It's not even relating to anything that is mentioned in the Bible. Okay? A lot of stuff they got to go ahead and full scale make up. I don't want to make up anything. That's why I'm telling you that, hey, this is possible. The way I see it, it may be that way. It may not be that way. I don't know. I'll tell you. I'll quick to tell you. I spend more time telling you I don't know something because I would look like a fool if I said I did, because the book is not saying that, what I'm saying. And I don't want you to think, I don't want to mislead you to believe that because I said that verse is saying that, that's what that verse is saying. A lot of people will abandon their own logic and reasoning because they heard somebody else read the Bible, and because somebody else told them what this verse says, they go around now believing that that's what that verse says. That's the crazy thing about sheep. That's what sheep will do. I'm not a sheep. I don't want sheep. I don't want to be a part of sheep. I want to help you become shepherds. All right, come take refuge. All right, so Ruth with feedback, rewarding him for his diligence. All right, I hope you guys are noticing what's happening here. She shows gratitude. Let me read these 2 notes up here and there on this page. Skillful with her words. So she shows gratitude. That's a law. That's a law of etiquette. She shows gratitude. Gratitude is nothing wrong with showing gratitude. That's what you should freaking do to another human being. And I know some people will go around teaching, you shouldn't thank another human being. You only thank God. I feel like knocking every last tooth in your head out of your head. Okay? You thank people. You say thank you to people. You praise people. That's how you get the best out of people. Some people believe you don't praise nobody but God. And I don't know where they get that stupid foolishness from, because when you read the Bible, there are plenty of people praising other people in the book. Why people try to be so spiritual and religious that they piss other people off? All right. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's read it here. She replied, may I always find favor in your eyes. My Lord, oh my God, for you have comforted me, and you have spoken to the heart of your maidservant. As for me, I am not even like one of your maidservants. Oh my God, she has this thing perfected. Her humility is immaculate. If I could just break down all the things that she did right in this, oh my God, I'm gonna leave it alone now. I'm gonna leave it alone. She expresses how his words make her feel. That's what a woman should do. Women don't understand. You leave a man in question, he's liable to go volatile on your behind. And you think it's cool to sit back and be all mysterious and not let a man know how you feel about him, not let a man how you felt about or your reaction to a thing. You'll wind up driving him crazy and pissing him off. But she doesn't do that. She expresses how his words make her feel. And it's beautiful. She humbles herself in rank. She says, you know what, I'm not gonna go over it. But she knows exactly how to find favor. And she deserves some daggone favor. Forced comparisons to maidservants. She shows, I'm not, a woman who's out there working all day, to me, you surpass my maidservant. Because you're doing this for hunger. They're doing this for job. They're doing this probably to get paid at the end of the day. They probably got more than enough to eat because they work in the field, you know. So they probably got their store is probably already full. They're just doing this for, money now to get paid. But you're doing this for your livelihood depends on it. So you're working with more vigor. Anyway, Boaz asks her out on a public date. Like I said, ain't you allowed to name these things the way what you want to name them. I'm naming it that myself on a public date. Now let's see. At the eating time, Boaz said to her, come close hither and eat the bread. Go ahead and dip your bread into the vinegar. I'm telling you, I see sexual kind of innuendos in some of this. And believe it or not, in a lot of the Bible are sexual innuendos because some of these Hebrew idioms are sexual in nature. I got to be careful in who I talk about it around. That's why in this Bible study club session, I'm going to talk the way I feel because I don't have a group of people I have to be sensitive of their innocent ears. I see sexual innuendo in that. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to mention it because I want you to be aware that the book that you think is against sex ain't against sex like you think it is. God told man, I want you to be fruitful and multiply. Ain't no way in heck is you going to get a group of humans to be fruitful by being a bunch of prudes, by thinking, ew, sex is nasty, it's dirty, ew. Hell no. And I said hell. Yes, I did. Hell no. The Bible ain't built like that. God ain't built like that. He understands the way for you to be fruitful and do a plenty of it is to get it on. I know. Ain't no other way on planet Earth that a man can get placed inside a woman's body than without that going down. Only man I know to have done that was Messiah. Okay? Let's be real with ourselves. Let's be adults as we read this book. Dip your morsel in the vinegar. So Ruth sat down by the side of the reapers, and Boaz held out toasted grain to her. She ate. She was satisfied and had some left over. All right. On a date, elevate her rank. He invited her to come over here. He's sitting at an elevated place. I'm not going to say the place or the table itself was elevated, but he himself is the owner of this field, so he's in an elevated position. He's telling her to come over here where we are, where the elevated ones are, to be elevated among us. That's what Proverbs talks about. Don't put a knife to your neck if you are trying to go ahead and take a place among the elevated at the table. No, you go sit in a lowly place off to yourself and be asked to come over there. That's exactly what that is. That is a practical application of that scripture being shown. Okay, on a date, elevate her rank, invite her to eat from the food you provide, offer enhancements, and see that she is satisfied. I mean, he could have just gave her a loaf of bread. Like, all right, see you. Lunch break over, go on back out there and get it. Go on out there and hit it, you know. But no, what he did was he gave her bread and vinegar. Okay. Not only if that was enough, he gave her some grains to toasted grain, toasted nuts. I shouldn't have said that, but that's what it is. Toasted nuts. That's what grain is. You can take a grain and plant a grain and get more grain. So that's what nuts are. If you ask me, a corn is a nut. A corn is a seed. Seed, nuts, nuts, seed. Seeds are nuts. Nuts are seeds. Blah, 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 blah. She took some seeds. Toasted seeds. Toasted seeds come from putting seeds to fire. Let me leave that alone because some of y'all ain't ready. Certified. Dripping. A morsel of bread and vinegar, actually a refreshing drink of sour wine and oil. All right? Learn the culture. Learn the history. Learn the culture. Learn the history. Must not glean another field, perhaps risking... Oh, I said that already, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, I know what happened. No, I didn't. Okay. Getting a choice. Okay. Owner's maidens tasked with getting the choice first fruits, then the reapers, then the gleaners. All right, so understand what following the gleaners mean. The gleaners get the first fruit. Okay? First fruit is holy. All right. You, old gleaner, you come behind all that. You ain't getting no, there should be no first fruit up in your shiznit unless it was dropped. And it was an accident that you got it. You ought to be satisfied with leftovers. I'm just saying that's you know, that's the reality of it. Vinegar. Let's look at the word for vinegar. Chometz. Chometz. Vinegar. I think chometz is the word for yeast. The word for yeast in 11. Chometz. I know it's based off of this word. So vinegar might be juice that has been fermented. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. Maybe a step down from wine. All right, Ruth goes back to work. Boaz provides protection and favor for her. He does what he says he's going to do. That's what you must do, man. You must if you make promises to a woman that you're going to do such and such thing, then you should back that up. All right. When she arose to glean, oh my God, I've been at this for over an hour. Okay. When she rose to glean, Boaz instructed his lads, saying, even between the sheaves, let her glean. You shall not mortify her. Between the sheaves, really, bruh? And you going to tell other brothers? All right, so anyway, give her special access, make provisions for her protection. Brother is laying down security for her. This one's special, y'all. All right. Protect her while she's on this land. Okay. Allowing her to break the rules of gleaning, which is supposed to be the outer perimeter. Okay. Moreover, you shall pull out for her some stalks from the swaths and leave them for her to glean, and do not rebuke her. Let's pull out some stocks. Man, don't let me find out. Let me find a brother pulling out his stock for her. Okay? You better not be doing that. Offer her assistance and freedom to ridicule. I don't offer her. Oh, okay. Offer her assistance and freedom from ridicule. Okay? I got to get my words together. And gleaning from the stalks and swaths is cause for rebuke. Now that's understand the culture. That's there in the law column to help understand the culture. Okay? So we're finding out more about gleaning rules. I mean, God dang, we on chapter 2, and they still doing this. We're still finding out stuff about gleaning laws. Still finding out. That's not that. I love the Bible that is like that. That's why I can see why it says study to show yourself approved. Because if you do come away with some nuggets of truth, guess what that means? That means you studied to show yourself approved. And you studied a portion of the book. You ain't just read one verse, now you got it. Now you can go out there and start teaching people. Go out there, open up your own church off of one verse. Brother, you need to dedicate some time to this. You need to study to show yourself approved. Rightly dividing the word of truth. She gleaned in the field until evening. That seems to be her MO, right? When she beat out what she had gleaned, it was about an ephah of barley. All right, she got barley. That's what she's getting. Now, some people, barley is poor man bread. I like it just fine. It's good for the kidneys. So, see to it, she has more than what she needs. Wait one second. Okay, she don't actually more. 1 ephah is 3/5 of a U.S. bushel, if you know what a bushel is. All right. Next topic. Ruth returns to her mother-in-law at the end of the work day, and I think we should be getting close to the end of the chapter. Ruth brings food to share with Naomi. They discuss the kindness of a wife. See what I'm saying? If you're a brother like this, if you're a brother like this, like Boaz has been, you're going to get talked about when she gets home. You're going to get talked about to somebody, mommy, sister, somebody. She's thoroughly impressed with you. She took it up and came back into the city. Her husband's mother saw what she had gleaned. 3/5 of a bushel, y'all. Then Ruth brought forth and gave her what she had left over from the satisfying meal. Remember when he gave her those toasted grains and maybe even some of that bread with the vinegar? Because, a smart woman won't. Okay, let me tell you something. A smart woman goes to lunch, company lunch, and she brings that stuff home that they're going to throw away. I'm telling you right now, that's how you know a woman is worth her salt. And she's resourceful. It's been many times I've gone to a party, and I left the party so full, I don't even want to see no more food, man. But there'll be some smart lady there and say, hey, nah, hold on, you got to take something home. Take something home to the kids. Do it for the kids. I'm like, oh, you're right. And so she sits there and packs up the remains for me and gives it to me. And I think that's better than for me to greedily be sitting over there taking all the chicken. All this, I'm gonna take this home. Look on my shoulder and see who's watching me. But yeah, so it's all that's smart woman, and that's qualities you want to look for, not just her booty got dimple in it. Her booty got a dimple in it. Oh, I love me some booty with a dimple, and that is not no quality to look for no daggone woman. Or that she is showing her camel toe, or the print in the front is so, come on, y'all. Her breast is so, that stuff right there will leave you with a woman, that will leave you with a woman you'll be very disappointed in. You need to look for qualities like this. Qualities that Ruth is exuding, And women look for qualities that Boaz is exuding. All right. These are kind of mates that you can have a lifelong relationship with, people that possess these qualities. All right. That's how you tell. That's how you know. How do I know if a man is right for me? If he possesses these qualities. How do I know if a woman is marriage material? If she possesses these qualities. You got to make it harder than it has to be. She took it up and came back into the city in her. Okay, I said that. I'm ready already. Okay. Now, Naomi lived in the city. Okay. We got that from reading this. We didn't ask that question. The Bible answered the question itself. And you got to be ready to let it fall in your lap like this. She took it up and came back into the city. That's how scholars find out stuff. That's how they do it. By rightly dividing this word of truth and studying to show themselves approved. It takes that. It takes notice. Oh, yeah, Naomi lives in the city. Okay. So she carried one ephah to the city's distance. And I'm thinking to myself, ain't that a lot to carry? Ain't that a lot for one woman to carry? It's 3/5 of a bushel. And then I'm sure, women put it up on top. You don't really see pictures of Hebrew women put it on top of their heads and carrying it that way. But I'm sure you see that in the Middle East. You see that in Africa. You could even see that in Europe, some places in Europe. So, there's also a woman who will get it done. So I know some other woman who, never mind. Let me leave that alone. All right. Ruth even brought Naomi leftovers from the meal. She was concerned about her mother-in-law. Now, that's the kind of woman that you want. A woman that's concerned about her mother-in-law and shows that kind of kindness, politeness, thoughtfulness. Now, I ain't talking about, well, you can look at a woman that does that for her kids as, possessing the traits. But a woman that does that for her widowed mother-in-law, who really ain't got to be her mother-in-law no longer because she's a widow and husband's dead, but she's still looking out for this woman, still providing for this woman, that's above and beyond exemplary. Now, that's something that the Messiah should have talked about in the New Testament to give an example for righteousness. Now, her husband's mother asked her, is the Bible still calling her husband? Mother. Where then did you glean today? All right. Getting the evening's conversation started because, women like to chat. Where have you worked? Blessed be he who recognized you. Because I guess she sees the evidence of this. Like, where you get this from? What's this? What's going on? Blessed be he who was recognizing you. So she told her husband's mother, with whom she had worked, saying, the name of the man with whom I work today is Boaz. And that's interesting because I know that dude. Naomi replied to her daughter-in-law, blessed be he by Yahweh, who has not forsaken his benignity toward the living and the dead. Right? And that's a good point. That's a good point. That's something for you to learn about the Most High. And it's something that should give you comfort about the Most High, his traits. He shows benignity towards the living and the dead. He's making sure that he takes care of this woman in place of her dead, that he's supplying her needs even beyond the grave, that even he's even possibly influencing her on the relatives of her husband, and the very fact that he provided a law to make sure that's taken care of is enough in and of itself, but it's going above and beyond. It's beautiful. And Naomi explained to her, this man is an near relative of ours. See, I told you I knew him. He is one of our kinsmen redeemers. I'll be daggone. Of all the brothers you could have wound up with our kinsman redeemer. Work it, girl. Work it. I know that's going through her head. He's one of our kinsman redeemers. And you're single. That's what, sometimes it's in older women innately to be matchmakers. Then Ruth, the Moabite, said to her husband's mother, "He even told me you shall follow hard behind the young workers who are mine until they have finished all the harvest I have." Really? That's a benefit. Because I don't know if, that was rightful. I don't know if that was, I don't know if somebody gleaning could stick around that long. I don't know if they would shoot off long before then. I have no idea. I don't know. Doesn't say, never says. Bible never says. You just got to accept that. And keep an open mind about whether that happened or not. Because if it did happen, then that should point to Boaz's generosity, okay, and Boaz's righteousness. Find a way to keep her around for a set amount of time and extended favor. All right, so he's ensured to see this woman until the harvest is over. Matter of fact, he won't see a lot longer than that. You're going to see the exact amount of time he's going to keep her around. So that time, all that time, he has to work on her, so that he can make her his. You dig? Naomi gives Ruth advice for continued success. God bless you, Ruth. All right, cool. We got two verses left. Naomi replied to Ruth, her daughter-in-law, "It is best, my daughter, that you go forth with his maidens, so that the lads in another field may not touch on you." Okay? Because I'm sure that, look, let me tell you something. Let me bring something up that you guys may have not thought of. There's a rape law. Okay? To many, it's called the rape law. Right? I'm going to refer to it as get some law. Okay? All right. Because the woman could be consensual, but okay, let me say this. If a woman yells in the city, you're getting stoned. You're getting killed behind that stuff. If she rapes, if you're trying to get with her and she yells in the city about, "Now get off me, don't touch me," and then you're dying behind her. But if a woman is in the field, now she's in the field, okay? So that's what you got to watch out for. You got to watch out for guys that say, "Get out of here, broad," who might want to hurt her, or whatever. And then you got some guys that might want to get with her. And if they rape her out in the field and she yells, and then she's not heard, he gets away with the aggression. He gets away with it. I wish I should have looked up the verse before time, but that just came to me just now. So I wasn't prepared to show you exactly where it is, but you want to look it up. Look that thing up. All right. So she followed hard behind the maidens of Boaz and gleaned until the barley harvest and the wheat harvest. Do you know what we're talking about? Okay, I don't get ahead of myself. Harvest were finished, and she dwelt with her husband's mother the whole time she occupied the residence. I don't know why they told us that. We could assume that. But the barley and the wheat harvest are times that the constellations were created for, not just for those, but it was created. No, man. Yeah, no, I'll tell you. It was created for times. Okay. Now the constellations were created for times, to tell the times and to help assist with the times, and et cetera, et cetera. And so what I'm saying is, these are seasons. All right. Barley falls in around the season of Passover. Now the wheat falls around the seasons of what is that? Around the seasons of what is that called? It's Shavuot. I'm thinking Shavuot, and I think wheat. Forgive me. My agricultural knowledge is not where it should be today. Wheat also has a couple of harvests, okay? One near Shavuot, that's Pentecost, and then another around Feast of Trumpets or Feast of Tabernacles. No. If I'm wrong, go ahead and put up the information as a comment to the video if I'm wrong, if you even watched the video this long. All right, there we go. We're done. We can wipe our hands of Ruth 2. We are finito. All right. Thank you so much. We got this far in the video. I appreciate your diligence. I appreciate your attention, paying. And we look forward to next time. I don't know when next time is going to be that I'll do chapter 3 or 4. And some other books I got to do. But we're going to be seeing them weekly. Okay? Sometimes we'll see them multiple times a week because, I'm trying to get Ruth done by the end of this week. And some chapters in Genesis. But I'm trying to have this happen regularly so that you guys can bet the bank on Wandell doing a video this week about something in succession to what he read last week and consecutively. That's my goal. So I hope you guys learn much this time. I pray that what I empty myself up tonight with will be replaced, replenished, and filled. And may I be set in place and positioned to teach with authority. I said teach with authority next time. For those of you who know me, I'm not into that teaching. I don't like to call it teaching. But I find out that I can't get away from it. So I look forward to it. All right. Hasta mañana. Let's see you tomorrow. No, that is see you tomorrow. We'll see you next time. Okay? Have a good one. Have yourself a merry little good one. Till the next time we meet.